Hello. Hello, John.
Hi.
Hello and welcome to our episode 8 Big Brother recap show. We have so much to get into this show with and talk about. I'm so excited. So I just want to let everyone know real quickly. Make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe wherever you are watching these shows. Myself, John, and of course, spoiler alert, Kaitlyn. It really helps us out when you guys follow, like, and subscribe, and comment, and of course, share all of the content that we put out for you. So share it now. Let people know that we're live. Share it later if you think someone might like it. Put it in a Facebook group. It's your life. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. But if you have any questions, you can tweet us them with hashtag YRRLive right now. That being said, I can't wait to bring on the lady of the hour, one of my favorite people. It's the one, the only Kaitlyn.
Woohoo!
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling alive now that I'm with you gentlemen. I'll be honest.
Oh.
I do. I feel good.
I love it. Now, right before the show started, spoiler alert, Kaitlyn told me that I should start an OnlyFans and show my penis.
Okay, let's maybe rephrase that. I mean, you are taking it to a level that I didn't take it to. If you wanted to show your penis, you're more.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You said if I wanted to, but not
I'm afraid Eric might make me try to show mine. Like, he wouldn't do it, but he's like, John, if you want to keep being a co-host, you need to take some things off.
John, I think you should. I'm not kidding.
No, you don't understand. No, it's like a potato under here right now. I've got the COVID weight.
And what you don't understand is that, first of all, you're beautiful. Number one. Number two, everybody has preferences and like things that they're into, they're not into. So for you to just come out and say like, I'm a potato and unfortunately no one is interested is such a dramatic thing. Like, come on.
I do have to ask my husband for permission too. So.
I love carbohydrates, so
too.
Baked potatoes, mashed potato, garlic potatoes.
Oh, I love
vodka.
Every time I talk to you now, Eric, I just like automatically think of the Cheesecake Factory.
Thank you. What did you get last time you went?
What did I get the last time I went? Well, you know what I got? I think we bonded over this. Actually, the last time I went, I was really in the mood for a cheeseburger, which is unlike me, but I got sweet potato fries and I dipped them in the ranch.
Thank you. You dip everything in the ranch, which my last Cheesecake Factory experience was not so great. I ordered a salad via DoorDash. I got no ranch. I called the store and complained. The manager refused to send ranch. Yada, yada, yada. I got ranch and a free salad.
Oh.
Why not just keep ranch in your fridge if you like it that much?
You know what? It's different.
It's different?
It is. You gotta get it fresh.
If you get ketchup, is that different too, or is ketchup just ketchup?
John.
No. John, we're going to take you sometime.
Yeah, John.
I get the gumbo. I like the gumbo with the rice and the shrimp and the sausages. That's my go-to.
I love a gumbo. I have never heard from the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. When I think of Eric, I think of Taco Bell. I think of a chalupa. I think of a bean and cheese burrito.
All right, calm down, potato. First of all, you're a liar. I have the whole Cheesecake Factory menu memorized. There is no gumbo, but we're gonna go with it. There is a gumbo.
Yeah, there's a gumbo. Isn't it called? Okay. It's like a gumbo.
Jambalaya?
Jambalaya. Thank you. That's what it is.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, thank you. If
Some
you need
kind
to know
of
an
New
item
Orleans
on the
menu.
fabulous dish.
Know-it-all about a menu. No one likes a menu know-it-all.
Yeah, I'm a menu know-it. Only Cheesecake Factory. Only Cheesecake Factory. But you know what else I know all of about? That people are dying to hear what you're thinking about BB23 this season, Kaitlyn.
Yeah.
Also, let's cut the shit number one, because my favorite time of year, truly without a doubt, is the time of year where CBS brings on people to do the takeovers for their Instagram. So we have week 1 always have like a Cody and Derek going on, and then we have like a Josh Martinez or a Casey, and then without a heartbeat missed, every year I get that email saying, Kaitlyn, would you like to do the CBS takeover this week? And I do it. And the fandom goes absolutely fucking nuts. They are like, who the hell asked for her? Why are we doing this? Why are you bringing her on every year? So last week when I did the takeover on Thursday, I mean, my DMs were out of control. Why do they ask her back? And truly, it just cracks up. Like my family and I, we laugh every year. We're just like, bring on the All-Stars and Kaitlyn Herman. Like, let's hear what she has to say. Not one person asked. Not one person asked. But yet they still ask every year. It's fun.
Okay, but you understand that the people that complain and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like, that's just one person with like 20 accounts, and then there might be 5 of those, and you clearly did something to piss them off. But other than that, that's probably all it is.
No, I appreciate that, but it's quite a few more. It's quite a few more. Anyway, but I'm excited to give my takes in a community that wants to hear.
Yeah. And we want you. And the thing that I want to know is your opinions of Frenchie's first week.
Should I read a dialogue between Frenchie and I?
Oh my God, please, yes.
You better.
I wish you sent this to me so I could read the part of Frenchie, but I'll just introduce it as Frenchie. Hi, y'all. It's me, Frenchie. You're gonna get to hear my dialogue with Kaitlyn now.
Eric, Eric, it's a very brief one, and I just texted it to you if you have your phone.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna role play.
So reason why number.
Julie?
I DM'd him yesterday, and I had been like in slight communication with his sister. She was just like saying thank you for like being an active support for him on the show, whatever. So she had sent me his number yesterday and said, "Here's Frenchie's number. He's staying off social media for now, but like I'm sure he would love if you reached out." So
okay, I'm ready.
You have it. Okay.
Hey,
and scene.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, King, guess who?
Is this Kaitlyn?
It is, buddy. Just wanted to check in.
Let me get to where I have enough service and I'll call you on a FaceTime. Right now, my tits are swung up in a twister, pricklier than a porcupine in a hayride. Anyway, I've heard how amazing you've been to my family, especially my sisters, also my cousin wife. You are a bright light in a dark storm. I've always known that you were special. Special like someone who can't do a 6-piece puzzle.
I want you guys to know that Eric had a lot of creative control in that. And that was not verbatim. And then I just said, I know you might be really overwhelmed and consumed by all of this right now, but I promise it gets better and it gets easier. Here's the thing. When I actually speak to Frenchie at some point, I'm sure at this point tomorrow, I'm going to tell him what he needs to hear, which is this.
Stay off Twitter.
His saving grace right now, in order to be wildly accepted by some of the haters, is to do what I did, which came natural to me, and I don't know what it will come natural to him, but come out of the house and immediately laugh at the joke and immediately be like, oh my God, like, hey guys, like, so that was a fucking mess. Sorry, I was absolutely batshit. Love you guys so much. That was still a thrill. Like, he needs to, if he doubles down and says, like, I still stand by the things I did, like, you don't understand what it's like in there. Of course we don't understand what it's like in there, but he really does need to own up to the fact that, like, he lost his shit a little bit. Like, he lost his shit. And if he can laugh at himself, then I think he'll be good. And not only good, but I think he'll be even asked to do other shows in the future that might need some entertainment.
What are the odds, do you think, of him doing that? 90, 80?
Right now, without speaking to him, I'm going to say 70% because I don't know. But what I do know is that because he was a fan before, and I have DMs from him from when he was a fan, and he would message me and we would kind of go back and forth, he always like said, like, you, like, I was so frustrated watching you on the show, but like you coming out and owning it and like being a light, like I love watching that. So I think that he holds a lot of grace for players as a fan. So I hope that we can all do that for him. if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kaitlyn. I only see the love. There was a lot of people at the airport and they held up signs and they were like, I hate you. But what they meant was, I hate that you are not in the house anymore.
What did you
Okay?
feel? What did you guys feel about it? Were you like happy to see him go?
No,
No, because
because
I lost a bet, Caitlin. I have to dress in drag the very last recap of the season.
yeah,
But
because
that would be fun.
Yeah, well, because John doesn't know that I'm always right when it comes to Big Brother. I don't know why he's betting
There
against
was
me
a
when I
time
told.
there was a time you were doubting, but I bet that Frenchie was going to make it to jury.
And I was like, he'll be gone next week.
I could have honestly, I thought the same though, John. I really
Thank
did.
you, Caitlin.
He
did.
went against production, Kaitlyn. Julie is like, are you going to take this offer? And by the way, it's the offer we've never offered anyone before. And this show is live and we have a whole comp set up. So I just want to know if you're going to accept this amazing, life-changing offer. And he's like, no, production.
But no, but
and
I mean,
you thought he was going to go?
Anyone could have done it.
Yes.
No.
Thank you, Caitlin. Gosh, it's so nice to have someone kind of on my side a little bit against Eric.
Eric, you would have done it?
Yeah.
And risk safety and your team. What if you would have lost and then
Give
you have
a
to look
shit
at your team
about
and go,
my team.
But the team, Eric, like, you've only been with them for
Just
5
met
minutes.
them.
Exactly. You just met them, and that's the first impression you're going to have. Like, fuck you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear what Julie said. I'm sorry. Too late now. Oops, roll the dice.
I get it.
You don't piss off production live. You don't piss off what? Well, how'd that end for you?
Actually, pretty good. They invited me to do recap.
She's still here.
They like have me on standby for like an all-star season. Just I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, no. I knew he was going, and I don't want anyone to hate him. Again, I don't know what the deal is that I've tried to purposely not listen to what people were saying, whatever his deal was before, and I really just wanted to judge him on the show. And yeah, he was batshit crazy, and it was entertaining. I think he needs to own his, I'm not going to put up a woman or a person of color. I think he has to own that, honestly explain it, not just be like, I meant they wouldn't go home. I think if he does that, it's going to ease a little bit up on him, but I know, we all know, you're always going to have the haters. If you are not sunshine and rainbows, you're going to have haters no matter what you do on social media.
I want Frenchie to be like, listen, game-wise, I shouldn't have promised everyone as soon as I won safety. Because my whole goal was not to put up a woman or a person of color. But then as the wild comp and everything happened, I kind of didn't have really any choice. Like, own that. Like, hate the game, not the player, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think we're going to probably hear some things, though, about things we didn't see. Because here's the thing. Although I think Frenchie was a little unhinged, I do think that there was also a lot of things and dynamics that we weren't seeing because, and I hate to even say this because it's so embarrassing, but like a lot of his like erratic, like making changes and decisions and this and that, like reminded me very, very much of my HOH when there actually was legitimate things that were happening, like my alliance going in the backyard and talking shit about me and me being like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? Like they don't fucking like me. And now Tyler is comforting me. Like, where the fuck am I going to go? So and none of that was shown. So I do feel like watching the episode and even seeing parts of the live feeds, there was still a lot we didn't see, and I'm just very interested to hear what those things are, just to make it make 10% more sense, like just a little. I don't think it excuses the fact that like he just could have shut up, but I am interested to hear what some of those things are that we didn't see.
Me too, and that's a great point, Caitlin, because as much as the episode's edited and as much there's so many cameras and we're only seeing kind of 4 at the same time and 3 of them are in the same room, so it's like we're not seeing everything. So that's a great point.
You're not, and that's the other thing that's scary so much though about the season. Like, okay, sure, Alyssa and Christian haven't kissed yet or whatever, or like they haven't like made it official, but like We've all fucking done it. I did it when I had a fucking boyfriend, which is even worse. But like, you mean to tell me that like they're not holding hands, like squeezing each other's hands under the
Okay.
blanket, they're sleeping and like all that stuff, like writing on each other's hands. We all do it. Eric, yes.
I would like to interject. Everybody would know all the things that happen with Frenchie if they watch my live feed update shows where I get into all of it. Also, if you watch those, you would know that Christian and Alyssa, Xavier walked into them into the HOH room 2 nights ago with them going at it on the bed, and then yesterday we all had to vomit our lunch up as they did the fun sit on the couch and pull the blanket over their heads with Christian awkwardly mounting her while trying to hold this weird little baby blanket over himself. So yeah, they're doing it.
So they've kissed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they call it celebrating.
No, they don't.
Yeah, Christian will be like, "Do you want to celebrate under the blanket?"
Actually,
I love it.
quite upsetting. That's the word, that's the adjective that they're using.
That's so funny.
I don't think they use it all the time, but in the kissing under the blanket yesterday, he specifically was like, "Are we alone? We gotta lock the door." And Alyssa's like, "Why?" And he's like, "I want to celebrate our win." So that was very much what, was happening yesterday.
Wait, the next time, well, the first time we get an edit of them, like, actually kissing, can we do an edit over it with celebrate good times?
Come on. Yeah, we could. I think only the live feed watchers would get it. I like him. I have a low-key crush on Christian, although as the season goes on, his looks change. I get less and less interested.
I think he's attractive, yeah.
I wasn't a fan of Christian, but there is, and it's not a GIF, but I think Maximus' mom, I think she tweeted it, where he's doing the backflips. He does like 6 in a row.
I didn't see that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. It was so impressive. It's the only time I've ever been impressed with. He does like a crunch and then does a backflip, comes back, does a crunch, does a backflip 6 times in a row.
Okay, Olympics.
All right, well, good for you. Good for you. I have Maximus on block, so I don't know. Okay. Yeah. I what?
Who's Max and his mom?
Irrelevant.
Why are our family? And she's wonderful. She's wonderful.
She's a drunk French lady that just
gets
picked up by Entertainment Tonight and every news article for her insane ramblings on Twitter, which makes no sense to me.
We love that.
We totally love it, and we love you, Maximus mom.
Okay, so Frenchie, yeah, he needs to come out and just own it. And
Eric,
we're all on the same page.
Eric, what percentage do you think that he will do that? What is your percentage? So Kaitlyn is 70 until she talks to him. You've seen everything and all the live feed updates and everything. What does your gut say?
My gut says he already has a burner account and he's online. And I'm going to give him 40% that he'll do it. He'll do it eventually. Do I think he's going to do it right away? No. We've seen him in the house have a bit of an ego. I think he can come on with all the good intentions to do that. And then once he starts getting bombarded with hate, is going to feel like he needs to explain himself, which will only make it worse.
Which is why I need him ASAP, honestly, so we can have revelation.
My percentage was lower until we've now had the conversation with Kaitlyn. Now it's gotten higher. Mine is also at 70 with Kaitlyn after hearing the text. Yeah.
But also, like, after I talk to him, I'm willing to change the number depending on the vibe I get.
All right, well, you just tweet it out. After you talk to him, just tweet out like a percentage.
And like anyone that watches this will understand it. And if you don't, like everyone just
like, a percentage and then hashtag YRR live and then everyone will get it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
I'm not even gonna tell you guys privately, like, hey, go look at my tweet. I'm just gonna like let you stumble through it.
Yeah, just let us discover it.
Okay.
Let us discover it. I cannot wait to discover it. Okay, people, there are so many questions, but I want to talk, like, I feel like we have to talk a little bit about tonight's episode. So, do we like that the kings and queens merged, John?
We do like it to merge to the royal flush.
Yeah. Do you
Yes,
care,
I
Kaitlyn?
love them all sitting there and having court.
To be honest, I don't care. There's so many alliances right now that I'm just like, I miss the days where there are just two and they both hate each other and it's just like that's it. But I'm getting so confused by everyone. And who's actually loyal to who, and I don't know, it's just confused. I just don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. None of it matters. It only matters who the HOH is, and then if you're in an alliance somehow with the HOH, then the alliance seems to matter.
Yeah. Didn't work for Frenchie. Slaughterhouse turned on him. I wanted to talk, since we were talking about crushes, what do we think of the crush between Hannah and Derek X?
I think it's really great, and in fact, the way they talk about each other, I liked the way that Derek in the confessional was speaking about Hannah. Like, it wasn't like objectifying, it wasn't like she's so hot and I'm attracted. Like, he just was very kind and very respectful, and I really do think that if they get together and they make it far, that has the potential to be like a very iconic new age Big Brother couple.
I love it. And I'm liking Derek X more and more. 2 veto wins. Loved his strategy tonight. So well spoken with Hannah. Her going back saying, oh, I've got a little crush. It's just adorbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. I like them together. I do. I like them together. I like them together. What about Brent? Is Brent your type, Kaitlyn?
That's offensive, number one. Number two, you know, he was like allegedly, he was the alternate for Brett for my
Yeah,
team.
I could see that.
Yeah, and he like DM'd Rachel Swindler like when she was performing one time, and he was like, hey, like I was supposed to be on your season, but like Brett got it, like, and she's like, oh, sick, like what? Like, no one cares. No, he's not my type at all, and I think that it is very cool. I mean, it's okay. Here's the other thing. Women in the house, and men too, get lonely a lot of times. And as you can see, between people that are in relationships or not, like cuddling and human connection is just something that ends up happening, even if you're not a cuddly person in general, because you're together and there's no one else around and it just happens. When you have a group of women and even some of the men saying in their diary sessions, he's getting on our nerves, he's so full of himself, he really, really must be like over to have everyone feel that way. I can't even imagine what he's like in real life. So no, I'm not fucking interested. Sorry.
Well, just to hear some of the things that he's saying, like I can't have an attractive female friend without trying to hit on her. It's just like, oh my gosh, what? Yeah,
that was weird to me, especially because I have a lot of guy friends that that are great, that are also very attractive. But when you are able to like put up the wall of like, I love you so much, you're so hot, I hype you the hell up, but like we're not gonna do anything. You're not for me. It's very possible. I tweeted about that before when we were watching the show. I was like, it is possible to have male friends that are straight that are hot. Hi, Winston. Like, we've never done a goddamn thing, never will. But it's strange. I think that he is going to use this show as an opportunity to like get laid.
Oh gosh, absolutely. He's gonna have a fans only site as soon as he gets out.
I'm gonna be combative and say, how many hot guy friends do you have, Kaitlyn, that you didn't do your TV show with?
Actually, quite a few.
All right. Well, why aren't they my friends then?
Although one of them we became really, really good friends. And then he left for The Bachelor. And now he's like the biggest star of the world. So, like, that's one thing that makes me laugh because I was like, I just remember the days when, you know, we were both two straight, hot individuals and I just had more clout than you. And now he's officially doubled me in followers. And he's like the world's hottest person. And I'm like, I guess this is my life now. But so
That's what
reality
happens.
TV hot shows, I don't know.
No, I was just kidding. It was just a joke.
Yeah,
Because I was going to say, obviously, Winston would be friends with you. You guys did a show together.
Yeah, that's true.
Brent's a super douche. He's egomaniacal on the live feeds. He is misogynistic, talks down to the women. Even you saw a snippet of it tonight, and he continues to reiterate it all through the POV and everything, where he'll literally say to Brittany, like, you're not going home. I'm not a pawn. Look at me and look at you. No one is sending you home. And he's trying to be comforting, but he doesn't realize how offensive everything he says is.
So at this point, because again, I'm not watching live feeds, Brent understands that he is going home at this point.
They left so much out of this edit. It was always the plan to get Brent out. The reason that Xavier was going for Azah and Brittany is he had a meeting with Brent and said, what should we do this week? He's trying to make Brent feel comfortable. He doesn't want another Frenchie chaos week.
Yeah.
And Brent was like, the only people that I want out of this house are Azah and Brittany because of the girls' alliance. That isn't really a thing.
Right.
So Xavier was kind of like, all right, and you'll help me make that happen? And Brent was like, yeah, I'll help you make that happen. And then Brent leaves. The conversation we saw on the show was when Brent came back in and Xavier was like, all right, you didn't get it the first time, idiot. So I'm saying I'm going to put you on the block next to one of them. And that is obviously why Brent wasn't okay with it. Xavier is still creating this narrative that you are not the target, Brent. It is Brittany because she made that girls' alliance, which is the rumor that goes around the house that we all know is not true.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're using that to try and control Brent. And Brent's walking around the house like he has the numbers and everybody in every single room is making fun of him behind his back. I think we're going to have a super cut on Thursday of everyone making fun of him. Because he'll just walk in and be like, my team's going to save you. My team has the numbers. You know we got your back. We're getting Brittany out of here. And then he'll walk out of the room and they'll all laugh and do impressions of him being an idiot.
But then how is that going over with the way Brittany's acting? And I want an apology. And the whole house, everybody's to promise me safety and all that stuff going on the live feeds, right? How is that going parallel to what Xavier's trying to spin?
It's not. I mean, well, how about what happened on the show? So what did you think of Brittany's meltdown, Kaitlyn, from losing the wild card comp and then finding out she's going to be nominated?
Here's the thing with Brittany.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say something, and it might not be what people want me to say, but here's the facts of and it's going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We need to consider here, no one's going to expect what I'm about to say, but we really need to consider here, like, what she has shared about herself, which is the fact that she is on the spectrum. Like, Brittany has autism. So, like, what degree? Who cares? All I know I know other people with autism too, and the way they react to certain things might be bigger, grander, might be less. They might exclude themselves, they might include themselves. There's so many different aspects of it, and like I think we really need to consider that with the way that she's behaving in a lot of these situations, because I don't think that being on the block 2 weeks in a row for just a person that doesn't have autism is easy. So I can't imagine with the emotional turmoil that she's going through internally and emotionally in her head too, like that's just an added thing. So like it's really hard for me to feel nothing but empathy towards her in this
Yeah.
situation. But I also don't want to like give her a crutch or something because she's on the spectrum, if that makes sense.
Well, I think too, she's probably also realizing I'm just the perfect pawn and I don't want to be that. I'm here to fight. I've got a black belt. I've got all this stuff. And now everybody's like, no, you're the perfect pawn. If you're not HOH, you're probably going to be a pawn. And that must suck also, as far as realizing that too. Do we think that Xavier probably didn't take that into consideration as far as, okay, I'm trying to keep Brent contained here from blowing up? Didn't really think how Brittany might blow up or take things a bit bigger than maybe what they are.
No, I don't think he considered that. No,
Yeah.
but so has Brittany shared that?
Okay, so number one, what Kaitlyn's hot fresh take has just proven to me that she does not watch our shows. Since I agree with you, and that is what I tell everybody every week, stop making fun of this girl. She has autism and doesn't process things the same way.
Right.
So yes, I agree with you. To John's point, what was your question, John? Or was it Kaitlyn's? What did you...
Well, you know, we
think
see...
Xavier has considered that.
Yeah, he was so consumed with trying to contain Brett. Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Doesn't care thing... or didn't really assume Brittany would take it to the level that she has.
In Xavier's mind, what he told everyone was, I love her, I know she's a good person, I don't want to jeopardize her game, and I know I'm not jeopardizing her game. I know the whole house is coming together to get Brent out, which, look, we did see. You know, Brent's own team threw the HOH to make sure that he wouldn't have safety. Then, once again, his team member throws that wild card comp so that he cannot have safety. The whole house really is working together to get Brent out this week. Brittany really is in no danger. But if it's because, you know, she is on the spectrum, she can't process that information in the same way that we do. So in her mind, I'm being targeted, everyone hates me, I'm fighting the whole house. You know, that's how she's processing it.
It's like being on the spectrum is that, and then also like I said, to someone that's not on the spectrum, it's still so hard to process that. So it's like, I'm just trying to put myself in her position, which is like very hard to do, but like amplifying that paranoia times a million. I just can't imagine. But I actually really like Brittany. I find her like we say, I don't know if you guys grew up saying this word, but with Jewish parents and grandparents, we like to use the word chutzpah quite a lot. Like
chutzpah, yes.
She has a lot of chutzpah. She has a lot of like that fire, like she's gonna get it. Like you just kind of root for her, and I hope that they don't keep doing that to her. If anything, I hope she like wins HOH next week so we can like really root for her and see something good happen.
Oh my gosh, it would be crazy if she won HOH.
I love that you're not watching the feeds, because I always love to hear how, you know, a just the show watcher sees Brittany. And that's good to know that that's the way the majority of the audience sees her. I can tell you, all the live feed people, for the most part, a good 90%, are frustrated with her crying and complaining.
So I see that too on Twitter, because like I'm not watching live feeds, but I keep up with the live feed Twitter community, and I've seen that too. I've also seen some concerns about who she said she's going to put up if she's HOH and things like that, and it's like, everyone just fucking relax. Sorry for cursing so much on your show. I always do.
Please, you didn't see our Karen from Big Brother Canada show.
Oh, is she going nuts? I knew she was on last week, right?
Yeah, she was on last week. Yes. Yeah, you could just say it's Frenchie. Oh, French.
Oh yeah,
what did they say?
That was a cute little segment.
I thought so too.
That.
Yeah.
That was a cute little segment. No, I just worry about Brittany, because if this is the level, and by the way, what they showed on the show is nothing compared to how much it emotionally affects her, in my opinion. I'm worried for her when she's actually the target. There's only been a few people in the history of Big Brother where I have watched them in the game and said, I'm concerned for that person's mental health. And I am concerned for her for when she actually becomes a target, because people are not going to tolerate that, and she hasn't told anybody. So with her not telling anybody, people are just going to see her as the girl that cries and complains and says, I almost won this comp by this much, and if you guys wouldn't double team me and complain. And I think people are going to start to go at her, and I'm just worried for how she's going to handle that.
This is
or she'll be great.
I don't know. I'm also concerned also now from what you're saying of how she'll be when she's out of the house reading Twitter.
Yeah, I'm hoping she has good people around her, and I'm sure she does.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll be.
Yeah, so be there and be nice to her. What did you think, though? See, now here's another part they didn't show. Before the wild card competition, Tiffany went to Brittany. A huge reason Brittany was so upset. Tiffany went to her and said, we need to work together to get Derek out. Then Xavier let Tiffany in on the plan. So now Tiffany's like, shit, she didn't tell Brittany anything else, so here Brittany is going into this wild card comp thinking, I'm gonna work with Tiffany to get out Derek, and all of a sudden both of them are ganging up on her. They just totally left that out of tonight's edit. So that was another reason why Brittany was so upset.
Oh, and no wonder she was upset. But I mean, I think this wild card comp also kind of started exposing people a little bit. Like, I thought Derek X really kind of threw the comp really well. It looked really good on the episode as far as him not trying. But I mean, them both kind of targeting Brittany, it kind of exposed them a little bit, right? As far as their game and what they were doing.
I think so. I thought it was weird at the end, their hug, like they're hugging.
Yes!
Brittany was nowhere to be seen when they were having their hugging moment.
She's crying already in the side. Yeah.
You know what's making me a little nervous? Because I do love Tiffany quite a lot.
Uh-huh.
I'm starting to I don't think that some of these other people are dumb enough to let her get to the end.
Azah, Derek X, after what happened in that competition, the Jokers, Azah, Derek, Big D, and Brittany now very much feel we can't trust Tiffany at all.
I don't think going to make it very, very far.
Well, and I think not only Tiffany winning, but then not choosing safety. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to keep safety on yourself, right? To survive another week. And for her to feel so confident, I think exposed Tiffany too. Even though I love Tiffany, I'm rooting for her as well, but it did kind of expose her a little bit.
Agreed.
The only thing I'll say here is this made no sense to me as the live feed watcher. So again, we got to watch when it came back from this wild comp. All we knew was that Tiffany refused safety. We didn't know about the other aspects, but we were all watching feeds that whole day. I don't understand how there were no conversations where people did not say, how does Tiffany feel so comfortable to give up safety, or why is she keeping safety from our teams? Right. There really was no conversations about her keeping safety away from other teams, which I thought, now knowing what the actual story is, I thought that's very weird. This is a very weird cast, strategy-wise, is all I have to say. Chat agrees with me.
You're the only one that can see chat, but okay. Yeah,
I know. They agree with me.
I just like them.
Maximus Mom agrees with me, so
I'm sure she does. So what about Azah? Is this a smart move or a dumb move? Kaitlyn, with Azah offering, obviously we see her comforting Brittany and then being like, I can't do it. Put me up instead. If you need to put someone up, just put me up.
I don't think it's going to make a difference one way or the other. I think that Xavier saw that as like a frustration because he can see that she has like a heart and she's playing with her emotions right now. But if anything, I think it just like was a win in general as far as like us getting to see her heart a little bit more. People are really selfish in that house, and I actually thought that was like we saw like a bit of who she might really be as a human.
Right. She's gorgeous. I can look at her all day. I know she's got a good heart. I know she's trying to be honest and stuff, but her doing that kind of puts in jeopardy her alliance with the Cookout, right? Like, okay, you've got this now 3-person team. Your leader's gone, and now you're wanting to kind of step up and be a target so Brittany's not on the block. When you've got the Cookout, when you've got more people in that alliance, I don't know. I think that kind of exposed her, Azah, a little bit too. Like, hey, where do your loyalties lie a little bit, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're thinking that deep. I mean, they might be, but like, I feel like she was just being like a really emotional person and maybe considering all of the things that we were just talking about before about Brittany.
Yeah.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, do you have the answer?
You're like the teacher.
Of course I have the answer.
Kaitlyn and I are students, and we're doing an oral test, and then you come in, Eric, and be like, you want to know the answer?
Wait,
that's why.
Eric, are you really mad at me if I like adjust my computer and like lay down?
No, go ahead, adjust and lay down, and I'll move.
You're the special guest star.
I really need to use my heating pad.
Do whatever you want.
This is just a preview of her fans only site. And I'm teasing. I'm teasing Kaitlyn.
Okay, so here's the deal. Okay, it did not go well for her, in my opinion. It has made people feel she is too emotional in the Cookout. They are concerned working with her in the future. They do not, like John said, they don't understand. There's a bigger goal here. We're trying to be, 6 people of color that make it into the jury and make it to the final 6. And she right now is like, oh, well, keep Brittany safe. So within the Cookout, it has, caused a little bit of an issue. With other groups, it has made them realize, Azah is an emotional player. I don't know if we can work with emotional players. And what they, again, didn't show on the episode, Azah could not hold it in. She was very, stoic, but people were taking it as angry and standoffish. She wouldn't talk to anyone for a long time. So, a lot of people have felt like this is a red flag. They don't know. If she doesn't bounce back from this quickly, are we going to be able to work with her long time?
It's so
long term.
Yeah, it's so scary because you've got the Jokers. You got Azah, Brittany, Derek F. Derek F's also in the Cookouts with Azah. Let's say Brittany goes home this week. The Jokers are 2 people who are also in the alliance with the Cookout, right? So why would you put that scenario in danger? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, she did bounce back. The next morning, she was kind of okay. She was making it a joke. She was singing songs like people were like, just be happy, Azah. And she was like, I'm so happy my teammates are on the block. I'm so happy. So she was very much trying to be in a better mood. Do I think she can undo it? I don't. And we still know that she's playing personally. She has said, if I win, I'm going up. I'm putting up whoever I want. I don't care. These people don't include me in their plans. They don't care what I want, so I'm doing whatever I want if I win HOH, which is not what the Cookout wants to hear.
You know what I'm just learning about myself while hearing you guys speak?
What?
I'll tell you what.
Wait, let me get closer.
What I'm realizing that I do perhaps go back on Big Brother one day, which is not impossible. Not an impossible thing. I really gotta talk to some people before because I don't believe that I would be not I would hope I'd play differently, but I think I'd be very emotional still. Like I understand Azah. I understand her. And that's not gonna be a winner. That's not gonna make someone win the show. And I'd like to win.
Well, all I can tell you, Kaitlyn, is every season that we do these shows, the proof is in these shows. I'm right. Every single thing I say turns out to be right and happens. I think I'm an aficionado on the show, so I'd be happy to give you pointers. I gave somebody else pointers one time. They didn't listen to any of it, and everyone saw how that ended.
Upsetting.
But so Tiffany declined safety. We already talked about that.
What else do we have to? This episode was kind of boring. What else do we even have to talk about?
Well, we just have to finish it. So,
right,
and then I got questions for you. So here,
the episode.
The episode sucked. Thanks for watching. Kaitlyn's dying on this recap. Brittany and Brent go up. There we go.
Brent's so
Episode's
trustworthy.
over.
You're so trustworthy.
Yeah, that's it. You're so trustworthy. Who cares? So you don't care at all, Kaitlyn. They're up. No surprise.
And Brent,
blah, blah, blah.
Meanwhile, this shot of me. Brent really does look like that. What's that tune that everyone says he looks like?
Who what?
What's the cartoon that everyone keeps saying that he looks like?
Oh, some mouse person.
Oh, with the neck, with the long neck.
They look, look so similar. It's like really scary.
Dr. Mike, a Cinderella mouse? One of the Cinderella mice.
Maybe that's it. I'll have to look it up.
The speech, I will say, apparently Xavier's speech was very edited tonight because, one of the reasons Brittany is demanding an apology from Xavier in the POV ceremony tomorrow is because she feels his speech is very damaging to her. Like she wants to be a teacher.
Game?
No, she wants to be a teacher. Like apparently he made it very much like you're an untrustworthy person, you're a liar. And she feels like if that's out there in the world, it will be hard for her to be a teacher. So
I was called a slut essentially, and I'm doing great.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I mean you've got your fans only site now. So
I'm doing so well from my veto speech. What was it? No, my nomination speech. So Brittany, hey, you can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. Kaitlyn, I see a lot of people, so I'll ask a few quick questions of you. Who is your winner pick? I'll take it from Destiny's.
Oh my god, it's so hard to pick just one.
What are your top two?
Okay, Kyland, and Claire.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Those are my two.
Okay, I do like that one. I do like a Kyland and a Claire. Who would you like to see in Power next?
I could go a few different directions. Sometimes I just like to see someone empowered, not necessarily that I'm like obsessed with, but like I just kind of want to see what they're gonna do. So I feel about Alyssa very much. Like I would like to see what Alyssa can do or like bring to the table. And I would also really like to see a Hannah in power.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what she would want to do, and then of course I would like to see Brittany in power.
All right, well I got bad news for you. Whitney and Alyssa could end up being the next targets.
No, Brittany.
No, Alyssa could end. As of today, Alyssa could end up being a target. She is very much on the radar of people wanting to get Hannah for one, Derek X for another. They want to separate her from Christian and get Christian over to them.
Right, but the question was, who do you want to see in power? And so Kaitlyn said, Alyssa.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting because if Alyssa is a target, her being an HOH would make a very interesting week, right?
I stand by it.
Stand by it. You stand by it. Heather in chat wants to know, Kaitlyn, would you have taken the safety this week?
If you were Tiffany.
Probably, because I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You yelled at me for the premiere episode saying I would take the safety.
Yeah, but you know what? That was the premiere. We are in the depths of the show now. Like that to assume that you're safe is
worse.
batshit.
Right.
No, I think assume safety is batshit.
Okay, all right, then, you know, fine. Obviously, who do you want to go home this week?
Brent.
Yeah, everybody wants. Actually, you know what? I actually don't want Brett to go home. What I would like to happen is for Brent to learn, which he tries. He tries to get it out of everyone. He'll literally be like, I just need you to admit that I'm the target all the time to Xavier, who won't do it. I would like Brent to find out he's the target and stay so that we can have more drama. Not for nothing, the feeds aren't that great. The Frenchie week was really predictable. This week, everything is going to plan. Nobody is exposing anything. There are no arguments. There are no house meetings. Everything is just going according to plan. It's not, you said the episode wasn't that interesting. Yeah, because you got rid of Frenchie, and now you're going to get rid of Brent. So, Kaitlyn.
Yeah.
How's your OnlyFans?
It's like doing really well.
So what kind of content is on there? I know
from my personal page.
Yeah, it's like is it meditation? Is it what is it?
TNA?
Let's be clear. When I first started, I was like, okay, I'll do like meditation and yoga and infiltrate on a market of very horny men that like want to mate. I was like, I don't care what they're doing on the other end of watching me, but like this is where I'm gonna put it, and if you want to pay me to do it, then great. But don't get me wrong, like I know what I'm doing. Like I'm in like little like yoga outfit. I'm like being cute. I'm like, you know, showing some cleavage.
Yeah, see, I can't do that.
Isn't there like a meditation? I forgot what it's called, but it can make you have an orgasm without touching yourself or someone else.
You're so funny for mentioning that, because when I started
Comedy Jonah. It's Comedy Jonah.
You're like smart, because when I first started it, I got all of my advice and just like what I should do from Elena, my friend Elena, who's on season 19. And she was like, Kaitlyn, you should really like tap into this, because there is like there's a whole theory that I was just looking up a few days ago about manifesting while you orgasm, and like that's the most powerful time to do it, just all of this stuff. So like, no, am I gonna be you do that? That's crazy.
I've done it twice during this show.
But I touched myself though.
Yeah, it's while you're doing self-love, self-performance.
Right.
It is self-love. But I've seen that where you can kind of meditate without touching and then just kind of balance and then have the whole orgasm, right?
Interesting. So that, I mean, it's something I want to look into more, but I've never experienced that. But there are some people on there, honestly, I think for a lot of the people that sign up, they really value that interaction, because there's really no other platform that I'm on that I can like actually like be texting, like going back and forth and messaging these people. And I make sure I like set aside an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening to make sure that I do that. So a lot of these people just think it's cool to like have someone to talk to in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But of course, I like put up sexy shit. Of course I do.
Okay, so Kaitlyn's OnlyFans if you want to see sexy shit. Got it. Now, that's not the only place. What?
You should still make an OnlyFans.
I know. That's not the only place that you can catch Kaitlyn. Of course, you have your podcast too, Quarter Life Crisis. How's that going?
It's going well. I'm actually starting a new podcast, though, in adjacent to Quarter Life Crisis. I'll still do Quarter Life Crisis, but I'm starting my own show.
Okay.
I think I'm going to name it Nobody Asked for This with Kaitlyn Herman, because like quite literally not one person's asking me to do this. There's not like the mass calling for Kaitlyn to start her own podcast at all. But I do feel like I've strayed away quite a bit from like my spiritual identity and like really doing that kind of work. So I would like to start a podcast where we talk about like spiritual perspective and meditation and all that stuff. And I bring on the reality star influencer, whatever, and we literally do not speak a word about reality TV and lifestyle and this and that, and we talk about, you know, spiritual, mental, emotional health.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I hope
do you provide one-on-one services, like kind of lifestyle coaching and
yeah, so I think for my month of August I'm not taking any more one-on-one clients, but I do have group coaching programs that come out quite a bit. I just finished my socially awkward group coaching program where I had 2 groups, and it was basically a program to help you get out of like pandemic fatigue and all of the other things that come with this time. Yeah. So that was a really great group. But yeah, you just have to pay attention to like my social media where I post when applications are out for my group coaching. I make group coaching super affordable because I know one-on-one is not always an option for people. And also just like PSA to anyone listening, if not me or another life coach or therapist or whatever, like I really encourage you all to like get into that because it's such a stressful time just in life in general. Despite the fact that we're like coming out of a pandemic, but also the Delta variant might be ruining our lives very soon. Like it's just very important to get a grasp on the things that you can control in your life. And that is a lot of times our emotional well-being. So just adding one thing to your self-care routine is important. And I know that's not the point of this podcast, but I think you guys should do.
I have always focused on mental health and all of those things for people. I will have to say, you know, still never been asked on Kaitlyn's podcast. But you know,
Eric, you'll come on my new one because that's
okay.
the other thing. Like with QLC, and I love Quarter Life Crisis so much, but it was not the platform. I feel like I can't bring on half the people or half the things that I want to do. And I know you're joking, but like truly, you bring up a good point. It's like when I have my own show, I think I'll have the luxury of bringing on people that I actually want on and not feeling restricted because my co-host Amanda, who I love so much, like wouldn't know that.
Right.
And she's weird about it. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So get Amanda to like me. Got it. Kaitlyn wants to stick us on the B show with no followers. Got it. Okay.
Oh, first of all, that show's gonna explode.
Okay, well, you're the one that said no one was asking for it.
No one's asking for it, but they need it.
They need it. You might need a producer.
Wait, are you looking for another? Dude, you're hired.
Okay.
And guess what? I can pay because
I'm very expensive.
That's okay.
No. But I cannot wait. No, seriously. I have to say one of your, and I know this one has been out for a while, but he's someone that I really like, and I always forget his name. So, you know, now I sound like a moron. But from TikTok, thank you.
Josh. I love Josh.
Josh.
You should have Josh on your show. Let's put Josh on this show.
I would love to have Josh on this show. He doesn't know I exist.
No,
my point is,
I'll tell him about you.
You guys need to check out Kaitlyn's Quarter Life Crisis with him. It was such a good episode of the podcast. I told you that the second it came out. I listened.
You did tell me that. You did, but I thought you were just being nice.
No, I really watch it. I obviously all of you guys have podcasts. I try and keep up with them as best I can. But when there's a guest that I'm like, oh my God, I want to see. And I was like, I want to see Kaitlyn interacting with him.
He has become one of my closest friends, which sounds absolutely psychotic because we truly just met on the internet and we've never met in person. But it's one of those things where you just meet someone and you're like, oh, we must have been siblings in a past life or something because this dynamic is just everything. I would like Josh to start a podcast, but hasn't done it.
Hey, maybe he needs a producer. Maybe you need to be doing a show with him.
There
maybe we all need to do one together. We can figure it out.
We'll have to have a meeting.
Okay.
Just have a meeting.
Let's just
I would like
just
a
call
meeting.
my people. Have your people call her people.
I would like to remind everyone to have a meeting of the follow button with all of our socials. Make sure that you are following Kaitlyn, John, and myself. Check out Quarter Life Crisis, Kaitlyn's OnlyFans. I will put the link to all of those things below this show, wherever you guys are watching this back. Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Make sure you follow us, because like Kaitlyn said, we're all people that create content for you guys, and the best way to keep us all keep making content for you is for you to like, subscribe, share, comment. We appreciate all of you. Kaitlyn, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Just guys, keep doing what you're doing. It doesn't go underappreciated. And Eric, although it's very difficult for me to keep up with your podcast, please know that I love it. My family knows who you are, and they know your podcast. They always think like, oh, you have a podcast? And oh yeah, Eric, the funny one that like made fun of you in the tunnel and like all that stuff. They love you, and you guys have an excellent show. And like Eric said, like continue to support it, because this is it.
This was it. John, say something nice about me and or Kaitlyn.
Kaitlyn, it's so great meeting you. And I'm manifesting Josh right now to be on our recap show. Eric, you're wearing blue.
Bye, everybody. Well, I'll see you tomorrow for a live feed update show when we'll talk about all the craziness post the POV ceremony. Or check out our last live feed update show if you want to see everything that happened after tonight's episode. They're on the YouTube. Bye, everybody. Bye, friends.